this is Seregor, and this is Ardek of the Dutch horror metal band Carach Angren.
And you are listening to The Bloodshed with the Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International.
Seregor and Ardek, thank you very much for taking time out for this interview while being so busy with the releasing of the band's new album and also dealing with the COVID-19 as well. It's a great pleasure to have you guys here on The Bloodshed right here on Metal Messiah Radio International.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
Seregor and Ardek, to start this interview, could you guys introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, we are a Dutch horror metal band, and we just have released a new album called Franckensteina Strataemontanus, and hope that everyone will check it out.
I want to congratulate you, yes, talking about that. Carach Angren are bringing us another great release with Franckensteina Strataemontanus, another concept album. Time focuses on a story that resembles Mary Shelly Frankenstein. Due to the current global situation, the album release date was pushed back 1 month, which was released last 26th of June 2020 instead of May 29 as earlier planned via Season of Mist. And by the way, I like to thank Jessica of Season of Mist Records for this great opportunity to talk to you guys. What was this decision to have pushed back the album from May 29 to June 26? And was this your decision only, or was it together with Season of Mist, and why for such a short time?
Well, it was a decision that happened with all of us, the label, management.
Corona, I mean, it was an easy thing for us to say, if this was a problem at our hands, that would be one thing, but the whole world is suffering because of this Corona thing, so especially with the distance thing, a lot of companies simply could not work.
The physical product.
Yeah, so
we had to postpone it, but luckily it was only a month, so yeah.
Okay, guys, Carach Angren is a horror metal band from Landgraaf, they say. I say Maastricht, Limburg, the Netherlands, formed in 2003 by you, the two members, now from the now defunct band Inger Indolia and Vaultage. And with you, Ardek and Seregor, only two steady members after drummer Ivo Namtar Wijers quit the group in February 2020 with previous frequented guest appearance for the violin part. What inspired you guys to have put the band Vaultage to rest to start this very great and successful horror fit, Carach Angren?
Well, it happened naturally because we were both playing in Vaultage, which was more like thrash metal, and Seregor and I were experimenting with black metal riffs and ideas, and the other band disbanded, and then this is what left, and we built it up. So it went very organically. There was not really hard decision making involved, but yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah, we started as a project, and I remember in the days of Voltage, when the guys asked me to do some vocals, I remember when we kept the break to get some food and drinks, that was our cue to have a Carach Angren rehearsal.
And then right away after, your brother Ardek has completed the band lineup?
Yes, definitely. When we were rehearsing and then recording the Chaseful Tragedy, we were the three of us, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Besides the horror and theatrical metal, please don't take me wrong, consider as many others has labeled you for so long as a symphonic black metal band. The Dutch soil has witnessed the birth of many great bands in the history of black metal, to mention some: Infinity, Countless, Conspiracy, Troner, Urfaust, Samad, Occult, Duivel, Fluisternaars, Val, Asagram, so many other great bands. We can talk till tomorrow. There's so many great bands in the Netherlands. Believe me, I always enjoy all these bands when I'm travel to the Dutch soil, to festivals, and I am always so surprised, guys. So great bands, and I say, hey, where are these guys the whole year? I don't see them. If there's a festival, what are they doing? This is just to mention just a part of such a great bands that the Netherlands has. My question is, consider you, Carach Angren, as part of black metal scene. My question is now, how do you see the black metal scene are doing in the Netherlands itself and internationally?
I think originally it was a very vital scene back in the 90s, and we we listened to a couple of bands, and then it sort of died out. And I remember when we were starting, the people told us like, oh, why are you still doing corpse paint and all of that? And we were excited about it. But then there was a certain point that we were the only ones left almost doing it in the Netherlands, at least. And black metal got a bit of a dip, maybe. And now you see that there are some cool new bands evolving, and that's pretty cool. But we have always done our own thing. So we have roots in black metal, but we also like death metal. Yeah, we are storytellers, horror storytellers. So we incorporate different elements.
Yeah, and we chose for this to be more commercial because at a certain point we felt as if it was a restriction to keep yourselves into one scene. I mean, if they call your band name, you don't want them to say, black metal. Or it's even better if you call your band name and they know exactly you are that band without getting a label tag or anything. So, but that's what we're doing. We're making every new album unique. I think, black metal will always be a part of our thing. I mean, if we would lose that when it comes to extremity in music, the look, the corpse paint, that dark image, leave that out, then you would lose a great point in Carach Angren. So this little part will always be there, but it's just not simply black metal. We are just using the influence of it, and it's very obvious.
Okay, to continue with this interview, last February, longtime drummer Namtar, who is your brother, Ardek, by the way, for those who don't know, decided to part away with the band, complaining that he has or was not happy how things are going with the music industry and the live events. How devastated was this that he has leaving you in the middle of the production, and how did you recruit Goditron drummer to replace Namtar?
Well, it was of course a big shock because we didn't see it coming. Looking back, you can see it a little bit, but he made the decision just after he recorded the drums. So luckily he was done with that. And because in November, before the whole COVID thing, we got a lot of tour offers already for this year. And that's, I think, the moment when he realized like, okay, I have to talk to the guys. And we sat down together and he informed us that he didn't want to continue with the band. And we tried to talk it through to see if he maybe would only take a break to get a little bit time off. But he was very clear that he had made a decision. And so that was a shock because we have been together for all these years as a three-part. But at the same time, when we realized like, okay, he really doesn't want to continue, then there's no way. And you cannot convince someone to change his mind. We have been a growing band. We have expanded super quickly in just 5-6 years. And with that, I always say the comparison, like when you grow fast, you grow out of your clothes. So, and that's going to hurt. And there is some growing pains involved. And so, yeah, he has a point. There are a couple of things that could have gone differently. But my perspective is like everything we wanted to do, we have been able to do. And we are still growing and we are super excited about this album. At the same time, he didn't feel like that anymore. So that's when our paths separate. And that's okay. I mean, he did a great job. He's a great drummer. And so, yeah. And immediately after that, we got the offer, or at that time, we got the offer for 70,000 tons of metal. And as a band, we decided, we want to do this.
Okay.
And we sent out requests for some drummers internally with our management and looking ourselves. And via we came into contact with Michiel, and he was super professional, super nice, from the very beginning. We were super impressed. And just in 2 weeks, he nailed the set list. And we rehearsed only once, and it was flawless, And he's a great guy, and he loves this music. Told us like a world is opening for me. So that's when we asked him to join the live ranks, permanently, together with Bastian, the butcher. And we decided to continue the band together, Seregor and me. But we need the great help of these amazing musicians. So, we are ready to fight.
Yeah. When the fucking Corona dies down, huh?
I was sad when I found out that Namtar has left, but I was happy that at least Michiel is the one that will take over his place. And I know Michiel personally. He's a great guy and he's a great drummer as well.
Yeah. Definitely. That's why we need him.
Yeah, and he's quite busy. I mean, they just released Goditron new album, Illuminati, and he was also busy helping Toop Dane from Sinister as well with their new album, recording the drummer there with him.
Yeah, he's very busy. He's very talented, so a lot of people work with him. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Guys, continue. Carach Angren has set out to tell ghost stories and combining a dark baroque style of metal with horror-based lyric concept, and among the years since the band formation in 2003, consistently released releasing great albums like, yes, for those who don't know, the Chase Vault Trilogy, a demo in 2004, Ethereal Vite Existence EP in 2005, the band full-length debut album Lammendam in 2008, second full-length that came through a Phantom Ship in 2010, third album Where the Corpse Sink Forever 2012. This record added a serious side to the lyrics of the band while firmly remaining in the horror genre. Their tales revolve around the evils of war. A great one. Fourth album, This Is No Fairytale in 2015, which is on the surface a darker variation of the Hansel and Gretel story from the Brothers Grimm collection. Okay, another great album, guys. Congratulations. And yes, my favorite until the last one came out with Dengs and Laugh Amongst the Rotten. Released on June 16, 2017, the band returned to pure storytelling with episodes that are centered on a girl playing a little, I guess, yes, you guys are right, a little too long with Ouija board. Yes, and great songs like Charles Francis Gauguin, A Song for the Dead, Blood Queen, and even a song in the Naam van de Duivel, the Say song. Guys, yes, how has the fans' acceptance and support been towards this release, the one I talk about, the 2017, and how was this compared to 2051? Are you guys proud and satisfied to what this album has meant for the band? I'm talking about the Dengs and the Laugh Amongst the Rotten.
Yeah, very good response, but every album we do is completely different in a way. We owe that to ourselves and to our fans to keep what's working and to reinvent our sound and experiment. That's what we have done on this release and the last as well. And there will always be fans that love one album more than the other. And that's cool, the variation. And I like that. I don't like bands exactly the same all the time. Although for some bands it works. And some bands, they can only do the same thing but in a slightly different way. But with us, we tell different stories. So we have to open new books.
Yes, for example, a band like Cannibal Corpse would all of a sudden go that melodic way we do. It wouldn't work. These guys make good songs as they do and stick to their style. But for Carach Angren, it's a bit like every album is a little bit different.
Every album, different story, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Since our demos, we've been using concept stories. And using a concept or a story on a whole album wasn't a new thing, but I think we put some extra pressure on it. For us, it's extra important to, let's say, have 10 songs and make them all compatible to one story.
You guys were quite busy over the last years touring and promoting this album we're talking about, Dance and Laugh Amongst the Rotten album, at different venues, festivals, tours, North and South America. To say some, how was all these shows and tours gone? And especially the one you just mentioned, Seregor, 70,000 Tons of Metal Festivals. You just did this year.
Actually, we did a tour right before that, European one. This was an exhausting tour because it was very hot during this one. But it was very successful, yeah. It was amazing. And 7,000 Tons of Metal was a loose show, loose from a tour. But yeah, you're gone for the whole week. And it was the first show we played 2 times with Michiel. So he could prove himself right away. And we knew exactly who we had. So this was very important for us to see what the drummer has. And yeah, actually more 70,000 Tons of Metal is in a way more like a vacation to us. I mean, you have to perform 2 times on that ship. And all other days, there's no way to go except for just enjoying and having fun. Like a cruise ship. Normally, I would never go there. But with my band, I get to be there.
So you guys had a blast of fun and enjoyment.
Yeah, it's always more fun somehow than a normal festival. Yeah, it's different.
I guess that for Michiel wasn't the first experience. I guess he was there with Goditron, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, played a couple of times already, so he knew his way around there.
Yeah.
Another great thing that you guys did this year was, tell us a little bit more about it. This listening session tour, which was held in different part of the world.
This was the first time, everyone, all hands were on deck. We got great help from our label. They set it up to give us a listening session in parts. And so the first was in Germany. And actually this was the most beautiful one or the most memorable one because our album is about the Frankenstein concept. And we held that listening session in the literal real Castle Frankenstein in Darmstadt in Germany, Mühltal. And this was such a perfect day. You probably see the pictures of Ardek and me. The two of us standing in a perfect setup where it's foggy and where the mist is all around us. And this was just like a Dracula film. The press and all reviewers came there, and they just had to drive like spiraling upwards the mountain like you see in this Dracula movie when you go to his castle. And yeah, up there, I mean, it was a bit dangerous on the roads that day because there were some accidents, but it was perfect for us. We couldn't have wished anything else more that way. And the next week we just had it in our own city, in our own country, in the Netherlands, a little bit up in the country. And the last one was held in Paris, in France. Yeah, in a normal venue bar. Yeah, Castle Frankenstein was the most special one. So it was a nice initiative to do it this way and to spread our release. So I'm very proud of us, the people who helped us getting there.
Okay, the new anticipated Carach Angren studio album Franckensteina Strataemontanus was released, on June 26, 2020. On this album, the band resurrect the gruesome story of troubled soul Conrad Dippel, the inspiration of Mary Shelly novels Frankenstein. This is going to be the band's 6th studio album so far, and Carach Angren are known for its lyric related to legends and myths dwelling into horror story, and with this new album is no exception. How is everything going with Season of Mist so far with the release of this new album? And I don't know if this is too early to ask, but will there more albums to be released with them?
So far, it's really good with Season of Mist, especially for this latest album. Yeah, they put all the work behind it, like I just explained with the listening sessions. I mean, it always takes, I think, for a growing band to get really noticed by labels and such, and I think we did it right now. This is much more obvious than our previous releases. And
everything was lined up for this release. Everyone gave their full energy, and if you look at artwork, if you look at the production, we had someone new to mix it and master it. The record label invested super much. We gave our best. We try to do that every time, but this time it feels even more special, so we're very proud of it. And there will always be a next album, but right now we are happy that this one is out. So now it's a little vacation maybe until we start promoting it live.
Yeah. This is your 4th album, if I'm not wrong. I mean, since you left modern media, right, with Season of Mist, or the 5th?
We did Corpses Sing Forever on Seasons,
So 4th,
Fourth, yes.
Yeah, 4th, yeah. Okay, Franckensteina Strataemontanus contains 10 tracks and 1 bonus one. What can you guys tell us? Yeah, tell to the audience about this great new release. Yes, what made you choose for Mary Shelly novel this time?
Well, we wanted to do Frankenstein because we think it's really cool, but at the same time we needed an original angle because Frankenstein is very known and it has been done a lot in movies and everyone knows the image of the monster with nuts and bolts. So we were researching and then we found out about Conrad Dippel, who actually, there's a theory that he inspired Mary Shelley's novel. He was like a real alchemist and he lived for real in Castle Frankenstein, and his addendum, his name at the university was Franckensteina Strataemontanus. That's why the album is called like this. And we decided to make a concept album about him, his life, but we included some fictional elements as well as historical facts. So when fans listen to the album, there's a story with all kinds of clues, and you will find out that some things have happened for real and others are made up. And what is cool is that hopefully some people don't realize which is fiction and which not. So it's highly enjoyable, hopefully, for people who want to look more into the lyrics, not just listen to the music.
How do you guys, talking about you, Seregor and Ardek, when do you choose or when do you decide which topic or novel you're gonna be sing about, or that's gonna be the topic of your next album? When do you guys decide that? Is something you mutually do a long time before? I mean, like a year before, or to say so?
Yeah, I think normally when a release is done, not long after that, we start already brainstorming about new things. But it's never like, should I say, we have never like, okay, next album, we already know what we're going to do. We don't know. And sometimes we have some ideas laying around, and at the last moment when we really start to decide, it might still change. And it ends up to be a challenging thing, because if you think about Frankenstein, I mean, this thing is so big. This was the first science fiction novel considered ever by many, and it's very hard to make such unbreakable concept even more interesting after all these developments and movies. So we had to come up with a twist of our own. And yeah, I think we did that. And you're not shooting a movie. We're a visual band. So yeah, I think our Frankenstein tale came through. Yeah, it's not like you're just copying or just taking over Mary Shelley's story. We are actually standing at the right same spot where Mary Shelley was standing. And when she heard about this Dr. Dippel. And yeah, so we are, we just take the story, but tell another reality behind it.
Yeah, I was seeing the video exactly and listen to the lyrics. You don't just go do the novel, you read it, but you don't just go over and do it the way you read it. You change it your way, right? Your style, you modify it, you even make it more interesting.
Exactly, yeah. If you read the book, for me, as a visual guy, I'm totally interested in the part, like how did the doctor do it? What equipment did he use? And I think that's how we all think, and that's what we saw in all the movies where our interests are at. And especially Ardek, he read the book, and he saw especially this part of the monsters thinking. Because we here in the Western world, if we make a movie about someone or something that comes back from the dead, it's always evil, and that's interesting. Always, also we use this in our concept. But yeah, Ardek wrote a song, Solitude, that was also a little bit of the thinking mind of the monster. Yeah, we just combined this with our own ideas. Like one story is the Vampir von Nürnberg. That means like a vampire from the city, German city, Nürnberg. This was a loose story about a necrophiliac serial murderer who had a thing for drinking blood. He thought he could stay young that way. And yeah, that's actually the same thing as Dr. Dippel did, Frankenstein. He was searching for the elixir of life or immortality. So these are the little connections we make to each other. And in our story, there are probably movies where they show some extent to it, but in our story, it became important that Dr. Dippel believed in God and he believed in science, but he always failed in his experiments. And for that, he cast aside his religion. And he even went so far that he went to the devil and at the last moment even sold his soul. And this is the thing that was important for us as artists. We do the same thing. That's why we could consider this album also like our monster, Yeah, we give our soul to do this. It's not like a hobby you just give up, not to us. That's why this thing goes until we're dead. And maybe beyond.
was das Grab mir hat gebracht. Die Leiche ist noch frisch, ich trinke ihr Blut. Gottverdammt, das tut richtig gut.
Guys, this album, as I said, contains 10 tracks with a bonus. I mean, for those who don't know yet, this album is just released. The album delivers a bombastic symphonic cacophony of necromancy and mad science interwoven with haunting keyboards, majestic orchestration, and a perfect balance of melodic brutality. The new album serves as the most theatrical offering from the horror metal master to date. So listen to this, to all of you guys, fans, new fans of the band. You have to go get this great masterpiece that Carach Angren has delivered for you, for us. Go back to what the recording. The band has recorded the first of 4 albums at Tidal Wave Studio with producer Patrick Damiani. For the last record, you move over to Abbey Studio with Peter Tuckron. But for the new record, you guys have returned, should I say, return home back to Tidal Wave Studio. But why?
Well, for every record, we basically look at, okay, what is the story going to be? And the story dictates, almost everything, the music, the direction. And the previous, we never completely left Tidal Wave Studio because Patrick, he always records the guitars and bass parts. And he has done that on all our albums. But for this record, we wanted a different producer. And I found Robert Carranza via a record of Marilyn Manson. And I've never been a Manson fan at all, although he's a great artist, a great music. But I was listening to The Pale Emperor and I was really impressed with the sound quality on that album. And that's when I looked into the personnel and found that Robert had mixed it, and Robert had done a lot of great albums, not only metal. Okay. So I got in touch with him and he wanted to do it. And it was a kind of a challenge because he's not an extreme metal producer per se. We got a little bit tired of that everyone is going to the same people and every record, although great, has a kind of similar sound to it. And we wanted something special for this album like we try to do for every album. And Patrick is a great producer as well and a great engineer and musician friend. So we recorded drums there again, and guitars and bass. And I did vocals, keyboards in my place. Then we sent everything to Robert and that worked perfectly. And I think he really nailed it. And we have a very unique sound, very open, almost Hollywood-like film soundtrack sound. And I think this album deserved that.
You guys are satisfied with the work done. I mean, with this guy for the very first time with Robert Carranza.
Yeah, absolutely. Phenomenal. Yeah. And he also took his time to really, it took almost like 2 months to mix it. So it was like every week he did a song. And I really like that idea that every song sounds a little bit different. And I miss that in a lot of metal records. Usually every song sounds exactly the same. And what is interesting about our record, hopefully that people will appreciate it, is that you can listen it over and over again and it doesn't make you tired. Because if you, for example, listen to the opening track, just listen to the bass and then you listen to Operation Compass, the bass is very different. And so every song has a very unique sonic identity. And I like that a lot. A lot of bands like Queen did this, but also bands like Muse, who are not at all metal. But I like when they give every song a different identity. You don't have to have the same guitar sound or drum sound or bass in every song. And especially with us, when you tell a story, the story dictates the sonic quality. And you need a producer like Robert who does this, and he has this modus operandi to do this.
If I may interrupt, guys, that's why I'm full agree with you when you say I don't want to be labeled, because if I listen to this album and you guys out there, when you listen to this album, you're going to tell, hey, that's true. I mean, each song varied from each other. It depends on the topic. And let's say perhaps the self-titled song, I feel a lot of industrial elements in it. Is it true?
It's true. Yeah. And we did that on purpose because the story asks for experimentation, because it's about human experiments. Yeah, we felt we have to experiment ourselves. And like I said, for example, if you take an album like Death Came Through a Phantom Ship, it was about pirates and adventure. So we had more this, string orchestra quality. And this story is more, dark medical experimentation. So we wanted like this industrial elements, but we didn't want to go completely overboard with it. So a couple of songs have this, others sound more like earlier work. So, and I like how it came out. There is something for everyone, hopefully.
To talk a little bit on the stage performances, it seems like with each album comes a new stage outfit, and not to even talk about your stage performances, especially you, Seregor, acting more and more when you sing. I must say, seeing your shows live, that I had a great opportunity to see you guys live in concert, and also different concert videos and official film videos. What an amazing stage performance is, I must say, from your side. Have you done especially kind of theatrical shows or classes in the past?
No, never. My thing actually was taekwondo. I did that for 14 years before on a pretty professional level. And I think I'm not the type of guy who likes to stand still. So I noticed during my live performances somewhere in 2000, around that time, I saw my own shows back, and especially when I don't have a guitar. Yeah, I just move naturally. And when I noticed that people started to like that, I was like, okay, let's evolve that. Let's go on with that. And so that's what became my stage act. Yeah, I think that makes us as a band look more like a movie. There's real explosion. I mean, sometimes we just don't even need the lights. We can just do it ourselves. And that's, it's quite a sporty thing.
Talking about guitars, do you think at some point of time with this, the shows that has to be restart again for this new album, will you take over sometimes the guitar again?
Probably not. If I would do it, then it would be also a visual thing, because it just would look cool to say Seregor also play a song. But if you think about it, we don't have easy melodic parts, and it ended with me having an injury, like a tennis arm, just too much playing, and so I was forced to give it away, and I'm thankful for that, because if I didn't, then I was really, I always had to make that choice. You could never be bigger in one thing. It's always you stay a little bit down, and you can do both ways, and always the little mistakes you hear back, you don't want that. You want it to be perfect. So now I got perfect vocals, and for my part, and we got great lives like Bastian and Michiel, and Bastian, he's a great player, and he does an outstanding job. I'd rather have him play my parts the good way, and make the show 100%.
Ardek, how about you? To have assist, if I'm not wrong, Tilburg Conservatory has made you a better keyboardist?
I did there a course for 1 year, but afterwards I learned a lot there, and for that I always had keyboard lessons as a kid, and later I did some studies to orchestrate and to make music for media. But like I say, learning never ends. You can be 80 and still study, and that's the trick, to never get lazy about it, or like to think like, oh, I'm there, or there's always something more to learn. And especially in this field with music and orchestral music, it's really endless. If sometimes I listen to pieces and then I feel like I know absolutely nothing. And in a way that's good because that keeps you fresh and not complacent.
But having you have Bach as one of your inspiration made it easier for you?
Well, Bach is at least I think it's very, very difficult to play, but therefore it's really challenging. And he made these little pieces that you can play in piano, and it's like every measure is a little different. So you need to really plan out how to play. And he was like one of the first composers and players that, really took harmonics to another level. And all these chord progressions we hear in modern music originate from that. So you learn a lot from that. But there are many composers that you can study. I like Stravinsky. I studied a little bit more into the Le Sacre du Printemps recently. And like I said, it's endless. You can go into that score and never come out of it again.
But it's so incredible, the energy you guys have on stage. I mean, I really, yes, congratulate you for that. I mean, when I see your videos or even your show live, you guys are unstoppable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, to continue with this stage performances, all of you always have fantastic looking corpse paint, no matter what, whether it's for photo shooting or on stage. Do you apply it yourself before the live show, or do you have a makeup artist doing it for you?
No, we do it all ourselves, yeah. So the live members, I do them. I paint them.
Yeah.
Somebody has their own ideas. Yeah, I've been doing it for almost 20 years and remember more or less how I did my first corpse paint. It's really not fucking easy. It was difficult, but now I do it almost with closed eyes. So how long it takes for one person? For me, it can, if I go really fast, I'll do it in a few minutes. I actually did Namtar one time before a show in 2.
Wow.
But it had to be really fast there. And yeah, Ardek paints himself these days, so and he takes his time, so that's no matter of rushing for me. It's like when I start a tour in the beginning, it's always like, holy shit, do I have to paint all their faces like the whole tour? But before you know it, it becomes this automatistic thing. It goes all naturally.
And how about all these different masks? Do you make them yourself?
Yeah, I all make them myself. Yeah, it's all handmade.
I mean, it's incredible. Every time you have a different mask on, and they are fantastic. It's not easy to make.
Thank you. Yeah. No, it's not. It's more. It takes its time. It's not production work. And only if I made something before and there would be a deadline or something like that, then I just can copy. I must say, actually, all the customers who come to me these days, somehow as if it's. They all have new ideas that are challenging in a way I've never made before. So it always, it just takes time. That's all. And if I can let my fantasy and my mind go crazy, then because I know if I go faster, just let's try this. Probably going to end up breaking it up again and starting from the get-go. So if I take my time, it's going to be perfect.
It's perfect, yeah. Okay, talking about videos throughout the years, for each release, the band had put out outstanding promotional materials like awesome filmed and lyric videos, like, to mention some, The Sidelight is a Portent of Doom, that was in 2010, of The Funerary Dirge of Violins in 2012, When Crow Takes on Windows in 2016, Blood Queen, that's 2017, Charles Francis Coughlin. What a great video, that one. All others are great videos, but I love this last one, the Charles Francis Coughlin. Especially you guys come out the grave. It's so great. The evil comes out when she opens that, is it a pitch black, right? Box.
Oh, yeah.
All the nightmare started with the monster under the bed, and when she was dragged down and you guys coming out of graveyard. Wow, it's so great.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it was a lot of work too. I mean, these happened actually in Ardek and Namtar's garden. So we were digging there like real grave diggers, right? Like days before, and guys had to work over day and at the evening, and at night the shootings began for the band. So I remember it was pretty exhausting. Most of all, actually, the part where the raining starts. If you see that, it's all recorded in a building. So we had to make it rain inside of a building, and this was pretty challenging because it was fucking cold. So we wanted warm water, but the moment you go for warm water, it starts to steam and become all condensy, and it's not good for the camera. So we had to do it cold.
Oh,
Holy, we were balls off. Yeah, I remember Ardek suffering the most. He almost got into hypothermia for this thing because his whole vocal cords started to change. And shit, this is the thing we like to do. You know, we like to burn in hell for our art.
Guys, who directed this video?
Rick Jacobs is the video man who made this one with us.
Okay, talking about the new album, guys, you have so far premiered 3 lyric video, one on March 11th for the track Monster, on April 24th for the track Der Vampir von Nürnberg, and on May 26th, the last one, Operation Compass. Would you like to share how the making of these videos has gone, and will the band still have a film video to yet be premiered?
Yeah, we worked with Eamon and Frame, company that does these videos. Tamara, she's the girl who worked on these videos. She did an amazing job. We gave her some ideas, and a lot of ideas she came up with herself. Yeah, she did a phenomenal job at showcasing, what the songs are about. And we are planning on making a video. We have had this plan for a long time, but due to COVID, had to postpone it because there are, a lot of restrictions to make production right now, and we didn't want to do a compromise to just shoot something. We're going to take our time. We're working on it, and it's going to be phenomenal. We have great ideas, and I hope we will be able to release it soon. But yeah, it will take some time, but that's okay.
With the Dutch horror outfit, Carach Angren brings forward their latest album based on horrible abomination of Franckensteina Strataemontanus. It is the band's 6th full-length album, and it revolves around the grim storylines of the English author Mary Shelly. The classic Tale of Frankenstein is a gothic novel written in 1818, and it's about an alchemist who brought forth a spirit from the realms of death and became terrified by his own experiment. With these concept themes and lyric style, the Green Masters, Seregor, Ardek, and Namtar have taken their craft to cinematic level. Since prior albums like Lammendam and Death came through a phantom ship, Carach Angren never ran out of gimmicks as they focus on deeper subjects like the paranormal and possession. Yet with each installment, the band expanded on creating horror symphony that will bring chills to your heart. For those that like Dimmu Borgir, I must say Celtic Fresh, Greater Field, Arcturus, Dark Fortress, Anorexia Nervosa, The Vision Blade, just to mention a couple of these bands, I'm sure that you will love this new album, this new work. Their 6th full-length album is a just yet of this great Dutch masters of the horror cinematic scene, especially for the Dutch audiences. Guys, if you allow me, I will just speak a little bit in the Dutch language. Since you guys are Dutch, we take this opportunity to go over just a little bit in Dutch. Heren nu voor het Nederlandse luisteraar. Wanneer zullen ze alweer van de band live muziek genieten? Ergens op een of andere kale podium. Denkt u dat nog deze jaren gaat gebeuren?
Ja, we weten nu niet. Het zou kunnen, maar er zijn natuurlijk restricties, dus we wachten rustig af. Wij zijn wel een band die hebben gezegd van we doen het liever goed dan half. Maar ik snap natuurlijk dat de fans zitten te wat popelen, maar wij ook. Maar er zijn ook veel bands die hebben livestreaming gedaan, wij tot nu toe nog niet. Het is een optie, maar het is natuurlijk veel gaver als we gewoon los kunnen gaan. Dus ja, we kijken gewoon per week eigenlijk wat er gebeurt. Maar nu zijn we gewoon aan het focussen op nieuwe album en videoclip. Ja.
In Nederland, tenminste, alles is nu normaal begonnen te worden. Maar ja, voor het eind van het jaar, dat hoop ik dat al die podiums overal al open zijn om voor alle shows door te kunnen gaan. Maar wat is er eigenlijk gebeurd met al die shows die deze jaar niet doorgingen? Zijn ze automatisch doorgestuurd naar 2021?
Ja, we hebben goed management en een goed booking agency. En die hebben heel veel van onze plannen weten vast te houden en door kunnen schuiven. En dus daar zijn we continu over in gesprek. En om te kijken wanneer dat wel plaats kan vinden. Ja.
Okay, to all our English speaking, I just asked Seregor and Ardek if there gonna be any shows, especially in their hometown, in their home country, the Netherlands, at least for what's 2020 left over, if the Dutch audience fans will be able to see them live in their hometown. Actually, to end this interview, guys, what is there left for Carach Angren for what's what 2020 is and what can the fans expect for this coming new year, 2021?
Well, like I said, we're focused on making a video now. Hopefully we can start with that soon under the current circumstances. And we're going to promote the album and hopefully return to the stage and promote this album heavily live. So we're looking forward to that.
Okay, guys, I want to thank you very much to have made this interview possible. I want to hand you over the microphone of Madam Messiah Radio for you to invite all your friends, your fans who support the band to buy the band's earlier albums, which they are all great albums, and to buy this great new masterpiece, Franckensteina Strataemontanus, and to also check the band's merchandises. Before we leave, guys, talking about merchandises, is there already different merchandises available with the band a new logo on?
Oh, yes. I got one shirt myself already. I'm pretty fucking proud of it. The front cover of Franckensteina Strataemontanus.
How about patches? How about all other merchandises? Tell us about that Pitch Black limited edition. That's something you did for the 2017 album, but is there something similar to that again this time?
Yeah, we have a box and it has a little flask with all kind of creepy stuff in there and it lights up in black light. There's fake tattoos in there, although some of them are real now. And there's a scarf. So there's a lot of value in those boxes and it's really cool and it glows in the dark, even the front cover. And fans have bought a lot of them, so I think they're all gone. So that's really cool.
For those who has not buy the album as yet, my last question, in how many formats are these available?
Well, we have the regular Digipack CD, then we have the special edition box, which has bonus track and all these goodies I just mentioned. Then we have various formats of vinyl. The coolest one is actually the glow-in-the-dark one.
Wow.
That one out already. And there's red.
Glow-in-the-dark vinyls?
Yes, yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah, and there's cassettes even, so, and of course digital and streaming.
Go back thinking, I don't recall any other bands releasing this type of vinyl.
Yeah, I know band Tool did something special with the artworks back then. I know Dimmu Borgir once did an album where they did in mirror writing and they delivered a mirror with it. You could, read the lyrics through the mirror, the satanic lyrics turned around. So that was a pretty cool idea. We have a death metal band here who gave a buck knife with every rare special edition. So yeah, these are funny ideas to keep it special. And for this album, for Frankenstein, being in the laboratory experimenting with elixirs and potions, and this little flask was.
The elixirs even have Seregor's real hair.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Hair, and figured take it home, and I put it to good use. It's from my head. Yeah.
Okay, guys. What more can I say? I mean, I hope to see you guys live in concert again this coming year. I'm not promising anybody. I'm hoping it still go on, because this year was a mess. I missed my Stonehenge Festival. I missed my Wacken Festival, my Brutal Assault this year. I missed my Inferno Festival in Norway. So I hope not to miss Eindhoven Metal Meeting 2020. I will be there if everything runs fine. So if you guys planning to go there, I know you're not on the bill, but if you guys are going to be there, I hope to see you guys, to have a beer with you guys. If not, to meet you guys on the road in 2021.
Yeah, sure. I hope to meet you soon, or play in your country one day.
Yes, talking about Madam Messiah Radio, yes, I hope you guys will do another North and South American tour for this great new album.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing has been planned yet, but South America is always, for us, more alive there somehow. We got Europe, we got the States, and we're all pretty spoiled. South America's temperament, they have a tendency for going crazy there, and that's what you want. You want to see your audience get out of their roofs.
Okay, Seregor and Ardek, I wish you all the best with this great new album. I wish you all the best with the band, and please say hello to my friend Michiel when you see him.
Yes, we'll do that.
Yeah, man, thank you. Appreciate your...
I'm gonna hand you over the microphone on Madam Messiah Radio for you to thanks whoever you want to thanks.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for listening to our new album, and check it out for those who haven't checked it out. Thanks for the interview, Vampire.
Thanks for your support out there. Thank you.
And like I always say, metal on. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Metal on. Bye-bye.